In this edition of Here, There, and Everywhere. Good morning, guys. It has been a good 2 to 3 day weekend so far here in Asheville and within the area, and doing hikes and going through waterfalls and mountain peaks and such. So where are we going today?
Mount Mitchell State Park.
Another state park that's located part of the Black Mountain Range. Yep, here in western North Carolina. And we'll give you some visuals and good maps as we describe to you where we're going today. How long will we get there
for?
for?
45 minutes northeast of Asheville.
Okay.
Where we are.
45-minute drive coming from Asheville, which is where we're at right now. We just checked out of our hotel. It is the highest point along east of the Mississippi River, so it'll be interesting to see. So another peak that we are going to, apart from the craggy Pinnacle that we went to the other day. It is Saturday. It is overcast. It should take us about 45 minutes. Easy ride. Hopefully there won't be any fog. Well, it would be nice to have a fog, but hopefully the fog will lift by the time we get there, and we shall see you when we get there. Bye for now. This morning's drive started out with fog, which beautifully lifted on our way down. It was a winding, very safe road along the Blue Ridge Parkway stretch. This morning drive down to Mount Mitchell State Park was also broken up by several viewing points that are built and strategically located along the parkway. There are 4 or 5 of these lookout points between Asheville and Mount Mitchell State Park. I forgot to get the names of these places and spots that we stopped by. Some of the clips here you will find the actual signage for the different lookouts. But right now, this was around 9:30 in the morning, and there's still some clouds and fog that have settled along the valley. As the heat of the day starts to happen, this will dissipate, allow all this fog material to slowly lift up. But this is a good view, a really good spot for early trekkers and early road trippers to get to. Lake Pinnacle. Oh no, wait. Lane Pinnacle. Okay, that'll be on the outtakes. Well, we just had a really pleasant conversation with a lady who used to live in Switzerland, and who told us that this region reminds her of Italy. I asked her, where would you probably recommend us on going? She says Umbria and Bologna, the region of Bologna. So really good chance to meet up fellow travelers and fellow nature lovers. I guess I'm officially telling everybody that I'm getting sucked into nature, and we are getting sucked into nature, and this is a good view, good spot to be at. As you can tell, there are clouds that are still billowing within the ridges of the mountains, and can't wait to really get on top. So we'll take you up there. See you soon. Down below, we're looking at Lake Burnett. This was the same lake that we were staring at when we were on top of craggy Pinnacle Park the other day. It is the main water supply for the towns, neighboring towns within this part of the Black Mountains and all the other areas. A unique site here. This is really not an overlook site, but there's a slow parking spot right off the edge, the very edge of this road. It's on a curve, and you have to walk, I would say, 50 feet from where we're parked at. And here's Kat coming along. But this is a nice gem of a view. Now we have the conifers, we have the pines, rhododendrons growing like weeds right in front of us. And this big tall, I guess it's a Douglas fir or Norway spruce. I'll make sure that I put the right name of the plant on the description below and on the screen. But the water, the sky, which is represented by the clouds that are still trying to lift with the fog, and the ridges and the peaks of the mountain range here on this spot. I wish there's a better the parking area and a really good viewing deck, but we're gonna take this for what we're seeing right now. It is a beautiful Saturday morning, past 10 o'clock. I would say the temperature now is in the upper 70s, close to getting in the low 80s. For a hiker, this is a good spot for you guys and a good trail. Now here's an interesting small marker that I found. It's a private marker of a gentleman named Jim Hadley. Jim, I'm assuming, is a Harley biker, and Mr. Hadley had died in 1984, and I guess from then on, family or friends have put this marker exactly at the same spot that I was at, talking to you guys earlier about this view. So, to you, Mr. Hadley, here's to you, sir. And here we are, guys. Woohoo! Mount Mitchell State Park. It is a 4,880 some odd acre park. It was established in 1915, and it became the first state park in North Carolina. This state park pays their resistance, and its namesake is Mount Mitchell, the highest peak east of the Mississippi River. After immediately entering the state park entrance with its name on it, we are greeted by this large, long row of spruce and fir. This is very native to the area and onto the state park. And according to literature, the spruce fir forest of Mount Mitchell is a remnant of the vast boreal forest of the last ice age. Can you believe that? That's unreal. The Wisconsin ice sheet halted several hundred miles north of Mount Mitchell, and when it began to retreat, well, there you go, a dense mantle of boreal trees stretched from what are now the mid-Atlantic states up down to the Ozarks. We had to stop at Steps Gap. It's a small landing that also has facilities where you could use the toilets, the visitor center, and information center is up here. Here are some facts on Mount Mitchell State Park. Mount Mitchell is named after Elisha Mitchell, one of North Carolina's great scholars. He observed that a mountain in the Black Mountain Range in the western North Carolina area seemed higher than the state's grandfather mountain and even higher than Mount Washington in New Hampshire's White Mountain Range. Over 30 years, he collected scientific evidence to support his hypothesis. He used numerous barometric observations to calculate the elevation of the mountain summits. Everyone, however, did not agree with Mitchell's claim. still along the trail, the footpath leading to Mount Mitchell, the tip of it, the actual peak. And we are still at all these different rest spots where one could sit, rest their legs, rejuvenate their muscles a little bit for a couple of minutes before they climb right on top. And the pièce de résistance is waiting for us, which is the view itself. So I wanted to show you what these locations look like and these spots look like. Nature's enveloping the hiker. You have beautiful native plant life, angelicas. You have rhododendrons. You have native grasses and wild grasses, raspberries galore. They're just growing, goldenrods, lichens that are by the second growing in front of your eyes on these well-built, ancient-looking fences. Pollinator heaven as well. Look at the goldenrods. That flower stalk of goldenrod. We are close to 6,600 feet, and the bees are everywhere. Butterflies are everywhere. Inkberries are also everywhere. By the way, this would go all the way around. The path will go all the way up that way and will go all the way across at an angle up the top. You can see some of the folks already enjoying the view. Those who arrived a whole lot earlier than we did. And so here we are, a few steps away from Mount Mitchell. Mount Mitchell, the highest peak east of the Mississippi River. All right, guys, we are definitely on top of the mountain, but what they did, a ramp. Not only are we going to take a view, they figured, you know what, you're not just going to take the view from the natural rock formations, we're going to build you a ramp. And this ramp will go all the way up to the very summit. And that is officially the summit of Mount Mitchell. And that would be, I'm assuming, is the grave of Mr. Mitchell himself. I don't know if we're allowed to go there, but we'll find out. Let's go to the summit first. We are facing west right now. The temperature is very comfortable. We're doing layering today, just a shirt and a windbreaker, and it feels comfortable. Eastbound, we look at Cello Knob and then the Commissary Ridge leading all the way out to the right. Beautiful valley down below.
I think I might have mentioned this earlier, but the park also offers access and overnight parking for campers who are backpacking into the Pisgah National Forest. Now do note that the backpacking sites are not within the Mount Mitchell State Park property. And a quick hot tip for you guys, it may be sunny today, but pack a jacket because it can get cold up top. Also, planning a trip real early would be quite a sight here, especially during sunrise. And here is Mr. Mitchell's gravesite. Just a tribute to the man, and measured and did a good assessment of the entire region, especially of this point. I'm a big sucker for trailblazers, so good for him. A lot of granite, surrounded by a wall of granite as well. The explorer and naturalist of Appalachian Mountains in North Carolina, Elisha Mitchell graduated at Yale College in 1813. He was also a professor at the University of North Carolina in 1817 and also an ordained Presbyterian minister. Also, at some point during his teaching career, he was designated the president of faculty at UNC. And if these accomplishments weren't enough, in 1835, Mitchell became a state surveyor and undertook an expedition to the western mountains of North Carolina. Using a barometer, he measured all the various peaks and he determined that the highest mountain peak in the United States east of the Mississippi River was located in the Black Mountain Range. Now here's an intriguing fact. The then future Confederate General Thomas Clingman had a public debate with Mitchell. The debate was about who measured Mount Mitchell and this peak first. And here's the clincher. Thomas Clingman used to be one of his former students at UNC. This ego tripping led Mitchell to return to the Black Mountains in the summer of 1857, and unfortunately he died. He fell into a waterfall and drowned. And there you have it, guys, Mount Mitchell State Park. This is a must-do for everyone in the area. Just drive on up to the Blue Ridge Parkway to the state park, and over there you will see very clear signages and directionals that are well marked, and we noticed that they are also well thought out. Now here's a hot tip from us to you guys. Leave yourselves enough time to stop at the multiple overlooks along the way to and from Mount Mitchell. There is this overlook about halfway that you have to make a stop at, and it gives you a grand view on both sides of the road. As I mentioned earlier, Mount Mitchell is the tallest peak in the eastern side of the North American continent. To think that that is just within our backyard is incredible. Another sensational part about it is that there's a parking lot almost at the very top. There you will find a snack bar and a gift shop. It's interesting to note that the glacial age has deposited seeds in dirt where the glaciers receded, which has given this area and the peak of this region a good array of flora. And the plant types here range from arid to perennials to native, just about any type of plants you can see from the plains to the slopes and up to the peak of the mountains. The air up top has that clean forest floor scent that we found really surprising. The sweet smell of balsam and fir was also very distinct. And do note that cellular and mobile services is poor up top. Our cellular carrier T-Mobile seems to always be off whenever we enter state parks here in the region, but once we exit the area, the 5G network is fairly strong. And as with anything nowadays, anything that you want to know about Mount Mitchell can be easily accessed through Google and Google Maps. We thank you again, guys, for joining us in our adventures of late. I know we haven't really shown the garden recently because we've been out trying to do this revenge travel bit and trying to cover a few places that we haven't been during the pandemic season. God willing, all of us will be able to travel again, and this special feature of Acorn Hill will be a regular one to be had by all of you, our dear subscribers. Those of you out there who have been our subscribers since the time that we started, thank you so very much. Those who are just discovering Acorn Hill, welcome. Acorn Hill is about our lifestyle here in Central North Carolina. It also discusses all our interests, travels, news, places to go, people to see, events that we'd like to be involved in, and so much more. Now, to those of you who haven't subscribed to our channel yet, what are you doing? Give us a like, give us your virtual hug by liking us and subscribing to the channel. Share us with your friends. Every little bit helps, and we sure appreciate it, guys. For now, this is Louie and Kat, and we'll see you back here on Acorn Hill. Bye for now.